Hello, everyone. I am Ishita, and my guest today is a pathologist turned best selling author. She debuted with the book Stars from the Borderless Sea, which was longlisted for Author Awards 2023. She is a Juggernaut Selects author, winner of the She Short Story Contest. She won the Citation Award for Lardley in 22, and her recent most work creation, The Way Home, won the IGF Archer Ramesh Award this year. Dr. Shalini Malik. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
taking the time to
Thank
meet
you
me.
so much, Ishita. Thank you for your generous words and thank you for having me on the show. My pleasure completely.
It is my pleasure, ma'am. It is. I'm such a big fan of your work, and ever since I started reading your books, one thing that I wanted to ask you was, which was the most difficult book to write? Was it the first one, which usually is for authors?
No, for me, it was the second one, which is this one, The Way Home. Why that was so was because, yeah, technically, of course, when you're writing your first book, you're new to it, you're new to the whole process. So it could be difficult in that sense. But when you look back, there's also no pressure, right? There are so many people writing their first book. So with me, what happened was when Stars from the Borderless Sea was released in 22. Now, you've read Stars from the Borderless Sea. So it's a collection of novella length stories and it touched a lot of hearts. It was received very, very well, as you know. And I
Yes.
had everyone coming up to me, we want to read your next book. And, we're really waiting for your next book. And that will be a full length novel, won't it? So there was this pressure to deliver immediately a full length novel which
Oh,
matches the debut. So there was a lot of pressure, and I'm not exaggerating. So it was very difficult to write this one. And in fact, there was a phase when the writing was not as good as it should have been. Actually, rewrote a lot of The Way Home, because I was writing under pressure. So I had to, calm myself down, bring me out of that pressure, and then write with a free mind and a free spirit because that's what your real writing will only come out then, right? So for me, it was definitely the second one, The Way Home. The third one, it's a collection of short stories, one more chapter. So that happened over time.
yeah.
But this one was like a lot of pressure, really.
I mean, I think even though I can only imagine the kind of pressure you would have been under, but I think it turned out such a fantastic book because so now I had first read the Way Home. And
Okay.
then I now went to one more chapter, and very recently I finished Stars from the Borderless Sea. And I was kind of moving in a very random, staggered manner. But especially, the Stars from the Borderless Sea, it is that Humsafar story was it
Thank
really
you.
touched my heart. One thing that I realized, ma'am, was that many of your characters reflect the medical background that you also belong to. So, which character made you go out of your comfort zone to create?
So yeah, it's true. I've had a lot of medical protagonists from the medical background in different ways. But I think each character is not us, so we are going outside of our comfort zones. Uh, uh, what really was most difficult for me was conceiving all the protagonists of one more chapter. I mean, you have like 16 or 17 stories, and each one is different. So those are not skins that I've lived in. Even if it's a doctor, they're doing very different work or the challenges are very different. And those were stories where I really had to, step out of the kind of life that I've lived, trying to write about diverse people, about different kinds of situations, which I have definitely not experienced. So it was difficult. And then creating a character that resonates in a short story is a challenge in itself, right?
Of course.
Because you have just so much to build that depth of the character. So I would say that most of the protagonists of one more chapter were challenging to create as people.
How do you, ma'am, how do you structure your stories? I mean, does being a medical professional help you structure your stories or your method of writing in that way, like diagnosing a problem and then going after the treatment, that kind of a thing? I mean, what is your process
It's
like?
completely opposite. So in medicine, everything we have to do what needs to be done, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Here I'm a complete mess. Just today morning I've been writing my next book. We're always writing our next book, right?
Oh,
And so just today morning I've been like, oh, this is not working, and I discovered three loopholes, which now I have to stitch together. So it's completely opposite. What happens with me is that there is one idea which comes, and the idea refuses to go away. Like in one more chapter, in The Way Home, it was Anya's grief. The book started with Anya's grief.
Yeah.
Starts from the bottom. Let's say the book actually started with Mahima, who's in the last story,
Mm.
and then I let it evolve. I let them do what they want. I let the characters play out a very mismatched story which has loopholes, and then I sit around fixing them and stitching it together. So that's how I do it. I'm very disorganized, both mentally and on the system. I will have like 4 or 5 drafts on my computer, and then I'll panic because I won't know which one is. And I keep telling myself that I'll get better. Maybe I will. But it's for me. It's a complete. Uh, it's like a blank slate. And I think the reason for that is because in medicine we can't do that. I can't just let things go. I mean, there are other people involved in what I do. So I think I get my, it sort of balances the hyper structure that is there in my work. But whatever, it's a messy process, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, ma'am. I remember reading in one of your interviews that you had started the first book that you started writing. You had started as a short story, then you had left it, and then after some time, it was you wanted to go back to it and let it develop as much as it could.
Yeah. The
So,
stories will call you, the
yeah.
ideas will call you, and then you have to see how best you and the story and the idea are working together, frankly speaking.
Right, right,
Uh,
right.
yeah, so
So
that's
it
how.
was. And yeah, in fact, when it comes to your writing process, I also you touched upon that topic that you it's a completely unstructured thing. But do you have you for your second or third book? Did you try to create an outline? Because I've heard
Of
that
course, of
yeah.
course. See, we are creating outlines,
Hmm.
but then the characters don't stay within those.
Right.
I don't think there's this panster and plotter, right? I don't think anyone is completely. I think all of us are somewhere on the spectrum. At the end of the day, the book has to thread together. So I can't throw random stuff out there, right?
True.
It's just in how we get there. So, for example, if The Way Home started with Anya's grief,
Hmm.
and that's still it's still a predominant theme of the book, right? I have not deviated from it.
Yeah.
But who are the people who I need to tell that story? What are the circumstances? And then they have to fall in place together. If Anya is living in Goa today, I cannot have someone else living in Canada tomorrow. It's as simple as that, right? So the rest comes like a scaffold, but that process can be chaotic. But
Right.
I enjoy it. I enjoy creating outlines. I love using colored pens and stationery. So
Oh.
I'll sit down with. In fact, today morning I was speaking to a friend and I told her that yeah, I've been mentally doing the ideation for like 2 days now, and today what I want to do, and I can't do it today because it's so busy, but maybe I will soon. I want to sit down and draw because that the next book is set in the mountains, in the foothills.
Yeah.
So, I want to sit down and draw her house was here and his mansion was there and blah blah blah. So I think that it's very important that whatever your process is, you enjoy it.
Yeah.
So because that is the hallmark of creativity, right? It should bring you joy. We are creating, right? So for me, that's how it is. Yes, it's a messy process. It seems disorganized while it's happening, but at the end of the day, when I'm sending a book out, it can't be disorganized, right? You're not going to read my random musings.
That
It's
is.
not a blog, it's a book. It has to have a structure. So I
Yeah.
think all of us get there, and it's like kids. I mean, they have fun making a mess, don't they?
Yeah.
So I feel like that.
Absolutely.
I mean, don't they? For them, that
I
is the process. Let's take this and put it apart. And they're having fun. They're not thinking tomorrow this has to go back in the basket. So I think it gives me chance to be that kid again, frankly.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, ma'am. And I think I recognize with you a lot because when I started writing my first book, I had started writing it as a short story. Because my friend was like, "Hey, you've been writing short stories. Try to go above 3,000 words." And that seemed like such a big feat for me that above 3,000 words, what can I write? And once I started writing, I ended at 75,000 words. And
Wow.
then I had my second book in head. And initially it was all unstructured and it was just coming out of me. I was like, okay, this story, this protagonist needs to be told, so let me just go through it. And about the process also, I'm so glad that you said that these are random. They come up as it may be created as a random musing because every time I'm writing, I have three different things running in my head. It's it's like a very messy creative process that that
It
happens.
is. It is.
And a lot of your protagonists are these strong women from different walks of life and different professions as well. And there was Geetika and Sayoni, Rachna and Humsafar, and then Anya and the Way Home. So I feel their circumstances really broke them until they learned slowly to tap into the strength within. And do these women in any way reflect your own struggles, or they are they just a figment of your imagination, or did you pick some leaflets from your own life and created these? Because that's how I feel. A lot of authors do. A lot of us do that. We pick leaflets from our own life and
Yeah.
experiences.
So we are, when we are writing fiction, we are drawing from not only our own experiences, but also from our observations.
True.
See, we cannot experience everything in the world, right?
Yeah.
But we can observe and we can reflect about those things. So I
Yeah.
think it's a synthesis. It's not that any of these stories is my life or any of these characters are my life. No, fiction is always composite. But suppose if I'm writing about Rachna, I mean, you mentioned Rachna. So she's a busy doctor in a metropolitan city and managing work and home. To that extent, yes, I'm Rachna.
Yeah.
But then if you talk about any other, you might find shades of me in some other character. But the
Mm.
characters are not us. Where the characters are coming from is from my experience, from my observations of women, of what they deal with and how they deal with that. So that is the seed for the protagonist. You're right, they're strong women.
Mm.
And I see the strength and I see women struggle to find the strength
Right.
when they're faced with challenges, and I weave that into my stories. So that's how it happens. So, and I don't think that there is a single person who has not gone through some of the challenges which I presented
Yeah.
in the book, right? So it could be something as simple as trying to set up, for example, in The Way Home. Anya's mom has been a homemaker to some extent. I mean, she gave up on
Mm.
her career ambitions. So I
Yeah.
think that is a lot of us in many ways. We do not give up, but we adjust our career ambitions. I
True.
did that. All of us do that, when we pick what kind of jobs we want to do so that we give our family time. So
Yeah.
it's a synthesis of these observations. It's
Right.
not one person, one thing, one point in time.
Right. So, ma'am, what advice would you give to women who are juggling work, family, and often fail to find time to pursue these personal interests, especially something like writing, which requires a lot of dedication and time? And so, what would you advise them how to go about it?
This might be unpopular opinion because everyone keeps telling everyone, take out an hour a day, it's just an hour a day. I know that that hour a day is so difficult.
Yeah.
So my advice is that when you really do want to do something, and also again unpopular opinion, there are people who say ki when you really want to do something, that when you have that passion, it comes. Oh no, it doesn't come. It comes and goes away. Not when you're trying, when you're so
So
caught up
true.
with. So what I really want to say is this: that if you've decided that, and this is for anything creative, or for it's even for a hobby, if you found something that is nurturing you, that is giving you the joy that a creative process brings you,
Yeah.
and you want to pursue it, the first thing that you have to remember is that you are a human being, and there are only 24 hours in a day. So if you're going to find that 1 hour from somewhere,
Yeah.
something's got to go. Okay,
Very.
something. It You cannot have your life exactly as it was, and then you say I want to come up with a book. Not happening at any cost. Now, if you've decided you want to do that, for that 1 hour, you're going to have to prioritize. And you have enough commitments which are important to you as well as to the people around you. That's how women's lives are.
Yeah.
So there's something that you'll have to cut back on. It could be trying to take some time off from work.
Mm.
It could be for me, it's been watching TV. I don't remember the last time I watched TV.
Wow. Okay.
So It could be the scrolling that you do.
Hmm.
It could be somehow managing to delegate your child being taken to class by someone else.
Hmm.
You
Right.
know, but there is only this much that you have to move around, and you're gonna have to move things around.
Right.
There's no point in your beating yourself up if you're not going to do that.
Right.
There will be days when you're not able to do that because there are things that only you can do. So you have to try and build in those times. It may not be every day. It may be twice or thrice a week, like I said. If you have a child who goes for a class and you can somehow get someone to Delhi. I know how difficult that is. It
Hmm.
sounds very easy. You can get someone else. You can pull up with a neighbor. You've built in that time, so 5 to 6 on 2 days a week. That's your writing,
Right.
and then you honor it. It's very easy to say कि 1 घंटा निकाल लो, but किसमें से निकाल रहे हो? Zara switching into Hindi, but that's what we tell each other, right? So my question to all those people is कि किसमें से निकाल रहे हो? It's not a magic vessel that you have, right? It's going to give you the 25th hour. So वो निकालना का figure that out, and once you've done it, you have to honor it and don't feel guilty. If your kid is going for a class with someone else, if once a week, if that means giving Maggie, I'm okay with Maggie. Let's all eat Maggie once a week. If we get a book at the end of it, I'm fine.
Yeah, of course.
So and don't feel guilty about it. You still, even if you take out like nikal lo that 1 hour, you are not being a bad mother, a bad family member, a bad child, a bad a parent, or a bad wife, or even a bad worker with whatever you do. In my case, it's also, I'm being very honest. There's a lot more that I might have been able to do in my workspace, which sort of took a backseat for the last 2 3 years, and I'm now catching up on that because you know what? We're not superwoman. She does not exist. So you have to keep it real. So my advice is only this: that think about everything. Think about where you can somehow create that hour. If you can hire extra help, you can ask someone to, like I said, take care of the kids, to pitch in at home. And then, but that has to be like a concrete thing, you know.
Okay.
Now I've chiseled this time out, and this time I will use for writing or reading or joining a writing group, whatever you want.
Yeah.
So that's the only advice I have.
That was a very practical advice, ma'am, and I think we really need to hear this. That you have to give up something to bring out,
Yeah,
pull out this time. It is not going to magically appear in that magic
yeah,
time. That is
exactly.
very true.
And you can't forever give up on your sleep and all that, right? So if you're gonna do consistently, then this is the way.